Now that we have set up all the shifts for the employees scheduled to work this month, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features that are available in OneClickSchedule to help make the work of managing staffing easier. First, let's assume this schedule represents a pretty good template of what we might expect the starting schedule to look like for next month. If we click on the gear icon at the top right corner of the screen, we see that the third item on the drop-down list allows us to take a snapshot of the current schedule for use at a later time. The next item on the list is View Snapshots, which takes us to a copy of the schedule we just saved. In another video, we'll show you how you can retrieve the saved copy and use it as a template for setting up your schedule next month. Alright, this is where we take the initial schedule and begin evaluating what needs to happen in order to meet our target staffing levels for each shift. Let's assume that in order to be considered fully staffed, we need 5 nursing assistants on day shift, 4 nursing assistants on 3 to 11 shift, and 2 on night shift. Without some kind of software to count employees scheduled to work each shift, the only way to get that information is to literally count the number of employees assigned each day to each shift. OneClickSchedule now provides tools to start reducing the time and effort involved in managing the schedule. If we click on the gear icon again, we see that the second item on the drop-down menu is entitled Staff Level. Clicking that button brings up a report that contains a count of the number of employees scheduled for every hour of every day of the month. The left column lists the days of the month, and the top row shows every hour of the day beginning at 12 midnight. So for those of you who may be accustomed to counting employees listed on the schedule, this report gives you all that information day by day, shift by shift for the entire month based on how you have employees assigned on the schedule. OneClickSchedule also gives you the opportunity to look at your staffing needs in a little different way by comparing your ideal staffing levels to actual employees you have on the schedule and computing the difference. To see this view, you enter your target staffing levels hour by hour in the yellow boxes at the bottom of the screen. The easiest way to achieve this is to start at the left of the row at the 12 a.m. cell and highlight the value there. Since we know that this is the 11 to 7 shift, we will put a 2 in that cell, which represents the 2 11 to 7 employees we want to schedule. By pressing the Tab key, we can advance to each next cell and enter the appropriate target staffing level. So we have a 2 in each cell until we come to the 7 o'clock cell, where we enter a 5 for the number of nursing assistants we want on day shift. We continue entering 5s until we reach the 3 o'clock cell, where we enter 4. Then on through the evening, we continue entering 4s until we reach the 11 o'clock cell, where we enter a 2. Hit the Update button and you will see the results. Negative numbers in red show the shifts where you are under your target staffing levels, while green positive numbers show where you have more employees scheduled than you need. The blank boxes simply indicate that you are at your target staffing levels with your current assignment of employees to shifts. You have the opportunity to either print off a copy of this report or download it to your computer to use as a reference as you begin making changes to the schedule. By clicking on the PDF button at the top right corner of the report, the options to either download or print the report become available with the PDF overlay. Now we're going to begin making changes to our schedule to address some of the problems we see on our staff level report. By looking at our schedule, we see that we have some employees that are not working full schedules. We may be able to use them to help fill some of our holes. We also have Leslie, who is a new employee that has completed her orientation and is ready to pick up some shifts as well. As we glance at our staff level report, on Friday, April 1st, we need one more 7 to 3 employee to fill our schedule. We can disregard the negative 2s from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. on the 1st because those numbers actually represent the last hours of the shift that began at 11 o'clock on March 31st and were covered by last month's schedule. We also need to fill holes on Saturday, April 2nd and Sunday, April 3rd. Let's give Leslie some hours by using her on those 3 days. We can take a quick look at our shift list and see that our shift abbreviation is a 7 for the 7 to 3 shift. We also need one more employee on day shift on Sunday, April 3rd, so let's give Dexter that shift. Checking our staff level report, we see that the negative numbers are gone for the first 3 days of the month, indicating that we now have our target level of 5 nursing assistants scheduled on day shift for those days. We will speed things up as we make further adjustments to employee schedules to fill open shifts throughout the rest of the month. With each series of changes, by checking the staff list report, we see those changes reflected immediately as the rows of negative numbers begin to disappear. The elimination of the need to manually count employees is a major time saver. More thought can be given to trying to creatively deal with scheduling challenges without having to worry if you've counted correctly or not. It would be nice if schedules never changed once they were written, but everyone knows that's not reality. Many times, schedules are barely posted before employee circumstances begin to throw a schedule into chaos. In manual systems, the need to white out employee names and shifts starts the frustrating process all over again of counting employees and trying to make sure target staffing levels are met in the near term. In OneClickSchedule, those changes certainly have to be made as well, but the modifications are quick to do and the critical impact of those changes are instantly viewable, not only for the next few shifts, but for the entire month or duration of the schedule as applicable. After the changes are made, an updated schedule is ready to be printed out or emailed to employees as needed. Now that all the holes in the schedule have been filled and the red negative numbers are gone, 3 shifts still remain that indicate we have more employees scheduled than needed, as indicated by the green boxes. Simply selecting and deleting 3 appropriate shifts shows our schedule is now in balance with our target staffing levels. For illustration purposes, let's assume that Leslie worked her first 3 shifts and then was terminated. As we remove her from the schedule for the remainder of the month and check our staff level report, we see the instant impact. So the process of finding current employees or hiring new employees to help address those needs begins again.